Hey there, it's Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out Petrichor from Fracture Sounds and Dan Keane. Fracture Sounds have been very busy of late. We had the gorgeous Zen library not so long ago. We've got the free Blueprint series, and of course one of my favourite libraries of the year, Hemisphere, which is the ambient guitar library. Now they've collaborated with Dan Keane and turned their attention to small, intimate but gorgeous sounding woodwind ensembles. There are 6 players in each ensemble, and there are saxophones, flutes and clarinets in the ensembles as well. There are 11 different articulations within Petrichor and 10 unique atmosphere layers. Petrichor downloads at 3 gigabytes and it offers full NKS support and of course works with the free contact player. It's currently on sale at an intro price of £59, which includes VAT as well. In this video, we are going to check out the instruments contained within Petrichor, the different sounds that you can get, and then of course I've thrown it into the all-important composition. I'd like to take the opportunity at this moment in time to thank Fracture Sounds for sending over a copy of Petrichor so we could make this video. Of course, while we get the instruments for free, it does in no way influence our thoughts, ideas, or decisions about the instruments. So, with all of that discussed and digested, let's jump into Petrichor. And here we have Petrichor loaded up in the Native Instruments Complete Control player. When Fracture Sounds announced that they're releasing Petrichor, I was really excited. I love the Fracture Sounds instruments. Their pianos are absolutely gorgeous, and of course they have lots of other scoring tools. But also, when they mentioned that this was a collaboration with Dan Keane, who's an absolutely amazing composer, do check out his work. And this is kind of like the brainchild of Dan, as it were, because it's all about these beautiful sounds and performances. And of course, Petrichor, the word itself, means the sweet smell in the air after the first rain, like after a lawn has been mowed or something like that. And it really captures this earthy feel. It's very hard to describe. So there's a lot of excitement for the library. And then I downloaded it, installed it, and I've just played with it for hours because it is just a gorgeous sounding library. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to it. So on the left hand side, you can see we have the high winds, low winds and full ensemble. So it's been split 3 ways. And remember, it's only an ensemble of 6 performers. And then we have some alternative instruments, and these just have different articulations. So the high winds sound like this. It really captures the earthy sounds going on. You have obviously the beautiful sampling, the gorgeous timbres of the wind instruments, but you get, I'm not going to call it a mechanical noise, but you have just kind of like the character noise from the instruments as well. And I just think it sounds lovely. Just hold this low G. Almost like breathy overtones. Now you can hold these sounds for as long as you want to. And the performances will just go on and on. And of course the mod wheel, so if I'm just playing one hand, just playing some basic chords. Controls both the dynamics at the top and the atmosphere intensity. And we're going to talk about the atmosphere a little bit later. So that is the wisps. Then you got the smart trills. Beautiful. Now, what makes these smart trills so smart, you say? It's very, very cool. If I play a D, and I'll play an octave higher, you'll notice a distinct lack of trill. But if I play a D and an A, my goodness, still no trill. But if I play a D and an F, it's found the bass note of a D and then the neighbouring note of a minor third, which is the F, it then trills to. So you can also do this with major thirds. And seconds as well. So if you're spreading your chord around, so if I'm going to change chord, so you've got a G chord. Okay, if I just play 2 sets of triads, it's going to trill a lot. But of course, if I play a G with my left hand, and sorry, a G and a D, so fifth, so there's no trill, and then just start moving around in thirds. So you get some really interesting performances. So those smart trills are absolutely brilliant. They got blooms, and I love the little pictures you get, the articulation. You kind of know what's going to happen. So I'm going to play it without the mod wheel, just so you can hear the bloom in action. So clear the dynamics oscillating, and then with the mod wheel, a bit more control. Yeah, they sound great. Then got the soft accents. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm going to change to the low winds to do the lower articulations. And the low winds just sound amazing. So this is a swell. So again, I'm just going to leave the mod wheel about 2/3 up. And 3/4 up, actually. And just play a low note. I mean, come on, that is beautiful. It really is. This is just an instrument full of beauty. Swell short. Then we have spores. It really does tug at the heartstrings. And then wild wisps. Gorgeous. So that is the high and the low winds. Now, if you go into full ensemble, you'll see you've got more playable range. You've got the same key switches as well. We are going to talk about the instrument in a moment. And you can just, to your heart's content, just noodle around two hands. Absolutely gorgeous. And you have the same articulations going on. So I'm not going to play through the articulations. However, we're going to talk about the instrument. So we have dynamics, which is controlled on the mod wheel. Got expression, which is your main volume. Got different color. So you can hear that ambient noise I was talking about, like the room sound. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. I say noise, I mean sound. Sound waves, particles of sound. There we go. So the colour on the left kind of dampens it. But if you want more of it, and frankly I can't get enough of it, you'd move it over that way. Then you've got reverb controls, and of course you have some different options. A few different effects. I say effects. A couple of different reverbs. It says a shimmer. Go back to room. Yeah, sounds great. And then we've got the atmospheres. Now the atmospheres are a staple part of Fracture Sound's instruments. So at the moment, we can hear everything together. And part of that is the atmosphere. So if I just solo the atmosphere, we can hear, and notice the mod wheels all the way up, and we have the intensity all the way up. He says, let's go solo it this way. There we go. So of course, first time I soloed just the woodwinds, which you can do as well. We can not have any atmospheres. Loads of ways to turn off. You can mute them, turn them off, or just solo the raw sound. There we go. Glad I covered that. Now, if you click on each of these, so there are 3 layers of atmospheres, and if I just turn those 2 off. So this is the earth. This is the marsh. This is the moss. And of course, they all have the Petrichor theme, don't they? Don't they? It's like I'm asking you, do they? They do. Lovely stuff. So you've got lots of different pads and different atmospheres going on. And of course, you can blend these together to create some sort of really, really cool sounds. And you can adjust the intensity as well. So how it sort of blends in with the raw sound of the woodwinds. If you bring the winds down, so it's a more subtle sound, and if you want to kind of wash it with reverb, I'm going to go big. can do that as well. So get some really, really cool pad sounds from the instrument. Absolutely love it. And of course, if you don't want that massive decay, you can learn MIDI CC. I've actually strangely put it on CC1, which is very silly. But there we go. Now, that is the full ensemble and just a little bit about the instrument. You do have these settings as well, so you can adjust the tightness, change the key switch range, so you can move it to the top if you want to, adjust the dynamic range as well, and of course you can see all the wonderful people who've helped create this library. Yeah, absolutely love it. Now, we've got the alt ensembles, and you can see you have similar articulations, but of course we have some different ones. So we have trills. So major third trills, minor third. I'll just stack. Get some really cool effects with the. Had some old school vibes there. Major third trills. So just holding down root and fifth sounds angelic. Throwing in a major third makes it sound a bit more chaotic. And they got multiphonics. I love the multiphonics because this is the most experimental patch of Petrichor. I've got the mod wheel at the top, so if I just sort of go from about 3/4 up to the top, you can hear that growl. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And then in the low winds, I'm just going to jump straight to the multiphonics because you've got to hear the low end. It's an instant score starter. If you whack the shimmer on that, I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like it's the first time I've discovered reverb while making this video. It isn't, obviously. But I just love putting the shimmer down. So yeah, what a versatile library. For underscore of doing horror scoring, you can get that out of this. And then you got the same full ensemble presets. So I don't want to ruin the fun because part of the beauty of when you first install Petrichor is just exploring and playing and seeing how it works for you. But there is so much mileage in this instrument. It does live up to its name. It has the earthy winds and the timbres and the sounds. But my first impressions were, wow, this sounds amazing. And then about 5 hours later, having just explored the instrument and played with it and just not really wanting to put it down, I was even more amazed by it, the versatility you can get out of this library. But it just works so beautifully well. Now, we are going to check out the composition, and I wanted to get a little bit creative with Petrichor, and also wanted to use some of the Fracture Sounds pianos. So I went for the Woodchester piano. If you've not heard it before, it's a beautiful piano to use, just amazing. It's got the same ideas with different atmospheres and things as well. But just the timbre is just gorgeous. And glacier keys as well, which is one of my secret weapons, especially when playing it quite high up. Yeah, so two great libraries fitting in with Petrichor, doing some very positive underscores. So I kept it quite simple, got a little bit creative with it, and yeah, it's just beautiful. So without further ado, let's check out the composition. Composing with Petrichor is just really, really fun. It is a beautiful sounding instrument. However, it does make you think because there are different performances and articulations, and it kind of sends your composition off into different directions. And that is one aspect of the instrument that I love, the creativity behind it. You can see that I use 6 instances of Petrichor, and at the very top we have the full ensemble, and then we have the high winds doing the wisps and the swells, got high wind blooms, and then the low winds are trilling to their heart's content a little bit later on. And then I've used the Woodchester piano. I love the sound of this piano. It just complements the earthy winds really, really well. And then glacier keys. I've used a soft preset, and it's one of my secret weapons. I love playing it up the octave and doubling other piano parts. But it all started off with a single patch, which I'm going to just solo off and play for you. Because I'll be honest, I didn't really know where to start, and I just held down an F note, and you'll notice it is tremolating. There's a bit of tremolo on that to turn it into a bit of a pulse, and I wanted the pulse to add movement. And then from there, I started playing the piano. So I used tremolator, really, really straightforward. Without tremolator, of course, they do just sound beautiful. I'll just solo that patch. So it just holds down that sort of beautiful foundation. But I just wanted to give it a bit of a pulse. It's just working between a F and B flat. So that was a foundation. And then obviously I wanted some more interest, so I used the high wind wisps just to sort of send us off in different directions. So we have more melodic interest, and I was saying about sending off in different directions. Broke one of my cardinal rules there of talking over the music, which I don't like to do. That already sounds amazing, but Petrichor really makes you think about your arrangement. So I wanted some high winds just to swell in and out. And now we're in the realm of just letting the instruments speak for themselves. The glacier, I don't know why I said it in that bizarre way. They come in, and I love the contrast, just playing in octaves with the piano. It's a really interesting piano library. Yeah. There we go. Just one of my hidden gems. I don't want everyone to start just chucking it into compositions, but everyone should buy it because it's brilliant. Anyway, we have the high wind blooms going on, and we have some low wind major third trills. Now, if you're trying to recreate that using traditional samples and libraries, you'll be there all day with lots of different tracks and trying out different articulations just to blend them together. But you get it at the touch of a key, and a lot of these is just single notes I'm holding down, but that backdrop is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so it follows the chord progression, just goes minor to D minor, and then we just end with just bringing the high wind wisp back in and the swells, and it just sounds wonderful. And there we go. So combination of the earthy winds, the high-low ensembles, the full ensemble, different sort of ways to creatively use them. Woodchester piano and Glacier soft keys. And when I said I don't want everyone to start using it in compositions, it's just one of my secret weapons. I've used it on so many different tracks, and it's just kind of there. So yeah, I mean, do use it if you buy it, obviously. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's late. I'm just rambling at this point. But there we go. Petrichor. It is just lovely. It's a wonderful library to compose with and score with and just find different ways to use. I can think of so many different applications, obviously for underscore, but you could hear my walkthrough. You could create like horror scenes really, really well, and you can just have nice, delicate scoring going on like I've presented here. Do check out the Fracture Sound demos as well, just see the different ways they've used it. It is really versatile, and woodwinds are often forgotten, but yeah, just because of the performances, the articulation, the experimental nature, the invitation to experiment. Brilliant library. So composing experience, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, absolutely love it. For my closing thoughts about Petrichor from Dan Keane and Fractured Sound, I've got to think about where would I use this. I would use this in lots of different scoring scenarios, anywhere where I need these earthy winds. And Petrichor does an amazing job of making you think about what you're composing and arranging and how you're layering it all together, because you have these different performances and articulations, and you're not going to find these sounds anywhere else. So we talk about having different options for scoring all the time and adding different sounds to our composing toolkit. I would use this for a lot of underscore and modern scoring, just to give the listener something a little bit different to listen to. And Petrichor, it just balances that fine idea of being experimental, but of course being completely usable and tonal and not being too out there. So you get these just beautiful performances. So do I recommend it? It's a no-brainer for me. This is exactly the kind of instrument that I love scoring with and I love using. I think it's very, very unique, and it just gives your compositions a completely new dimension. I do really urge you to check out the other Fractured Sound demos that you can hear on the website. I did listen to all of them before composing what I really wanted to. And of course, the idea of getting creative with this library is what it invites you to do. It invites you to experiment, to go out on a limb, to just sort of live a little on the edge when you're composing. And again, I love that. So yeah, it's a huge recommendation. I wouldn't hesitate to pick up Petrichor, and it really does live up to its name. It's such a sweet sounding library. All that leaves me to say is thank you once again so much to Fractured Sound for sending over a copy of Petrichor so we could make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like and of course comment. Have you already picked it up in the intro cell? Are you planning on it? Is this the kind of scoring tool for you? If you've not done so already, please check out our other videos on YouTube. Of course, please consider subscribing to the channel. We've got lots more content coming your way, and it's all because of the viewers watching the videos we make. Until next time, have a great day and keep making that beautiful music.